And then he recalibrated his approach. And then he started moving towards a different direction. When Prabhupada went to West, Prabhupada did not expect that women will join his movement. He thought that only men will join his movement. He did not expect women to join his movement. But then he saw a lot of women join his movement. Immediately he recalibrated his entire approach. He started Brahmacharya ashram, he gave shelter for women in the temple, and then he started encouraging marriages. He completely recalibrated his approach. So Prabhupada was able to do these things, wonderful things, because he was subordinate to the will of the Lord. And when things didn't work, Prabhupada did not lose his enthusiasm. Because there was a long period when things did not work out. Even when he went to America, he was writing letter after letter to his god brothers, saying that there's so much of opportunity here to preach. I can help you. Please come and establish Gaudiya Math here. He was writing letter after letter to his god brothers. None of them were interested. Prabhupada did not give up. Then he started his own institution, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So, this is very important, to submit ourselves to Krishna's will. If we want to do something, if we want to progress in our own life, in our own practice of Krishna consciousness, or we want to do something in this movement. For both, it is important like this, that we should submit ourselves to Krishna's will and accept, okay, sometimes what we want may happen, sometimes what we want may not happen. In both times, we should be happy. Yes.
Can I ask, does it necessarily mean that we have to take financial risk? Because I see Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada and his spiritual master will just take the money and spend immediately. But we have also the order to maintain everything, so we may take less risk. How do you see it?
Everybody should be able to take risk according to one's position. Okay. Risk is one should take according to one's position. One should not take risk more than what he can manage. One should take manageable risk within the movement when we are doing service. Even within our sadhana, we should only take manageable risk. We should not take unmanageable risk. Like for example, if I am getting up at 3:30, I can endeavor to get up at 3:15. I should not endeavor to get up at 2 o'clock. I may want to get up at 2 o'clock, it may be my aspiration, but I have to also move towards that progressively. It's not that I'm getting up at 3:30 and then tomorrow onwards I'll keep my alarm at 2 o'clock and then get up at 2 o'clock. We may be able to get up 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, and 4th day we'll crash completely. So we need to take manageable risk. So that's what we should do.
Can you express in more ways how to depend on the will of the Lord for a manager?
See, sometimes we may do something and it may not work. Okay? We should not be so much attached to what we want to do. Then we have to take guidance to see what we are doing is okay or it is not okay. Like suppose we may want to have a particular type of preaching program. And it may not attract people, it may not be successful. But we cannot be just attached to that particular type of preaching. Then we have to take guidance from seniors to see that what is going wrong, why it is not working, whether it is relevant or it is not relevant. And if everyone says that yes, in spite of everything going wrong, you are doing well, just stick to it, then we should just stick to it. Or if some people say, if our seniors say, no, your direction is wrong, you please recalibrate your direction, change your direction, we should be willing to change the direction. Sometimes we should be able to do both, but based on guidance. Like sometimes some things may not work. Like for Prabhupada, his preaching was not taking off. It was not taking off for quite some time. But because his spiritual master had told him, you should go and preach in the West, he just stuck to that instruction. And then suddenly everything worked. Okay. But so sometimes that determination to stay in the path, in spite of so much of negativity, that also is important. But that should be based on guidance. We should be flexible in the sense of either doing this or doing something different. We should remain flexible. We should remain flexible. And sometimes we may also get services which we don't like so much. So we should not deny the service just because we don't like it. That's also important. That's also being subordinate to the will of the Lord. That we may get some service which we don't like, but still we should do it. And we should do it in such a way that nobody is able to make out that we actually don't like that service. Our like, our dislike is because of our immaturity. But being subordinate to the will of the Lord means that we should just do things because we have to do them, and we should do them properly. We should give everything of our life to that. And sometimes we may like some service, and we may have our heart in that service, and it may just go away from us. Without any resentment, we should give up that service and then continue with what we are doing, what is assigned to us.
But Prabhuji, what you're speaking is very high level.
It's not high level. It's not high level. Prema is high level.
No, you're right. But at my stage, there will be a point, at least for a day, I will be disturbed. If the things.
It's okay, you can be disturbed for a day, but after that one day,
Yeah, then I continue.
You should,
pray and cry.
see, the point is that there should not be any resentment in this. Sometimes I find this a big problem in devotees, okay, that they carry so much of resentment in their heart, okay. But we should understand that if we have resentment, we have to take one more body.
Yes. No, I agree with you. Not taking it, we have to keep Krishna, not the resentment. But then there is something always that hurts us. I mean,
So
it
one
goes
should-
away eventually with time.
Like for example, there's a beautiful pastime of Jadabharata and Raghugana. Okay. In the end of the pastime, there is one very important information that I think all of you probably read that pastime so many times. Okay. So Raghugana, he insulted Jadabharata. Okay. And Jadabharata, out of compassion, he instructed Raghugana. Okay. And Raghugana became free of his false ego, and then he went off. And Jadabharata also went off. Right? But before that, Sukadeva Goswami makes an observation. What is that? Sukadeva Goswami says that due to the insulting words of King Raghugana, there were waves of dissatisfaction in the heart of Jadabharata. Okay. This is very significant because we are talking about somebody like Jadabharata, not like some Bhakta Joe who joined the ISKCON yesterday. And what is the caliber of Jadabharata in not being disturbed? What is his caliber in not being disturbed? That when he is taken by the dacoits to be killed, he simply walks with them. When they feed him, he simply eats. And when they want to cut his head, he is simply sitting. And then when Kali comes and destroys all of them, he is simply looking at her. And then when Kali says, sorry, you please go, he just walks off. That is the kind of guy we are talking about. And then, it is not the first time he was insulted. So many people have insulted him.
Yeah.
They have called him names, they have given him stale food, they have taken a lot of work from him and gave very little to eat. Every sort of insult he has gone through. But when Raghugana spoke, in the end, Sukadeva Goswami observes that there are some waves of dissatisfaction. But Jadabharata, he pacified his mind by different instructions and also by the sweet behavior of Raghugana. And then he walked off. So, Jadabharata not only instructed Raghugana, he also instructed his own mind. He told his mind, already you have done all these things before, already you are dissatisfied once, and then you have to go through 3 lifetimes. My dear, don't get into this again. So it is very important that we actually instruct ourselves that what is right and what is wrong. So sometimes we find acharyas instructing our mind, their mind, Barjahure Mana, Srinandanandana, Abhay Charanara Vindare. Dushta Mana, Tumike Vaishnava. Oh wicked mind, what kind of Vaishnava you are? So Raghunath Das Goswami wrote a whole work called Manasiksha. So instructing the mind is an important aspect because mind is a very dangerous animal. It's a very important aspect. One should understand these things properly and then one should deliberate properly to carry the right type of mentality. We should not think that these things will automatically come. One should do it consciously. That's why we are called as International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Otherwise, we will just carry baggage after baggage and then we will destroy ourselves in Krishna consciousness. Okay? Please read. But please understand, these are not very high ideals. Sir. No, I am saying that this is where Krishna consciousness seriously starts. Okay? We are meant to understand that when we have this type of approach, Krishna consciousness seriously starts. Otherwise, we will keep practicing Krishna consciousness in mental platform.
No help.
Mental platform.
No help at all.
Mental platform means that you just become victim of mind in practicing Krishna consciousness. Many devotees do that. So when you speak to them something philosophical, they get very disturbed.
Even on mental platform, the Kirtan, holy name so powerful, it should decrease.
Correct. Correct. So Kirtan, holy name is so powerful, it will do it. It will raise us from the mental platform. But if you pull ourselves back to the mental platform, then it doesn't help. You understand? That's why, sometimes Mataji has to do this type of service, that simply listen to people who are in mental platform. They want to talk the same thing. If you are telling no, they want to talk the same thing. Because why? Mind is simply rotating there. And they are simply stuck in that place. And then they are talking the same thing. They are not able to come out of it. Okay. Let's read. Yes.
Can I just ask a quick point about
Yes.
what we explained? So you said one would have to return back because they wouldn't be able to leave this body.
Yeah.
Is that because they're entangled into the mental platform, so they wouldn't be able to actually engage conscientiously into Krishna consciousness, which is why they would have to repeat? Is that correct?
Yeah, see, mind actually, what is the function of mind? What is the function of mind?
To
Reject and accept sound.
Yeah, so basically, by acceptance and rejection, mind wants to keep the jiva in the material world. Okay. As long as we are victim of mind, we have to remain in this material world. Okay. And mind is always telling us that today it is difficult, tomorrow it will be all right.
Yes.
Tomorrow, Maya will give you a better day.
Krishna will give you better.
No, mind always says Maya will give you a better day. We have to understand Krishna will give us a better day. That is the function of the soul through the deliberation of intelligence. Mind always tells you that Maya will give you a better day. So the point is that this will be explained by in Kapila Siksha, and Krishna also explains in Bhagavad Gita that how do we take next birth?
The mind creates the next body.
Yeah, yam yam vapismaran bhavam tejatante kalevaram tam tam yaveti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha. This is what Krishna is saying, right? Yeah, so the conception which we carry in our mind, it actually takes us the next body. So if we carry some resentment in the mind, that conception will take us to the next body.
Because we wouldn't have been able to engage in Krishna consciousness to wipe that away. Basically.
Yeah, because in this material world, as long as we are dissatisfied with something material, then Krishna will allow us to take one body after other, one body after other. That's why one of the important qualities of a devotee is that he is satisfied. He is satisfied materially, not spiritually. Spiritually we should be dissatisfied, but materially we should be satisfied. Whatever experience Krishna gives us, in that experience we should be satisfied. We should not complain. Hey Krishna, why are you doing this to me? And we see that in Bhagavatam. Throughout Bhagavatam, those who are dissatisfied, they will regret later. Those who are satisfied, they are always happy.
Those who are unsatisfied will.
Yeah, they will regret later. Like Dhruva, he is not satisfied with his treatment which he received from his father. And what does Narada Muni tell him? Narada Muni tells him that if you are a person who can think so much, first of all, Narada Muni tells him, you are a child, don't get too serious about these things. Just go home, play with your doll, you will be alright. And then Dhruva says, you think I am that kind of person? I am a Kshatriya. In my blood, these things don't go away. I can't just like take insult. Oh, you can think that much? Then you please understand that adoration, insult, these are all meant to come according to your karma. So just leave this. Don't take it seriously. Be satisfied with what Krishna has done to you. Then Dhruva says, no. This is all Brahminical advice. No use to me. I want my revenge. And my mother says I can get my revenge if I can see Narayana. So can you help me to see Narayana? He says, okay. You see Narayana. So Narada Muni actually told him in the beginning that be equipoised, don't get disturbed by these things, just go home. Then later Dhruva says, after seeing the Lord, when Dhruva laments, that time he says, my spiritual master told me that I am unfit to see the Lord. And he told me to go home. I didn't listen to his good advice. So today I am suffering. He says that. Because when Dhruva saw the Lord, Dhruva was expecting that Lord will actually put him in Garuda and take him to Vaikuntha. This is Dhruva's expectation. Krishna has come, now everything is finished. Krishna will take me, he will tell me, okay, sit in the Garuda, let's go to Vaikuntha, turn, we will fly to Vaikuntha, we'll go back. But what the Lord did, he gave him benediction after benediction. He said, you rule for 30,000 years, this thing will never happen, your senses will never get to this thing, and you will always remember me. Then after that you will go to your own planet, there you will sit, till Brahma's lifetime you will keep sitting there. Dhruva never wanted these things. But he was stuck by his own desire. You see, this is the problem. This is the problem. That's why when Vritrasura prays to Krishna, what is the first thing he says? He says, Nanaka Prashta. Means what? Don't do what you did to Dhruva.
Who said that?
Vritrasura.
Vritrasura. He said that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
First thing he says, Nanaka Prashta. Don't do to me what you did to Dhruva. That's the first thing he says. Then he says Narasadhipatyam. Don't do what you did to Bali. He's a very intelligent guy. Vritrasura. I love him. Okay, anyway. Okay. Read. You understood, no?
Nothing.
I gained like about 50% of it. Some of it went over my head, but I was hoping to try and understand it more if I'm honest.
Yeah. Think about it. Okay.
The mercy of the Lord bestows upon a particular person engaged in executing the responsible work entrusted unto him is beyond imagination. Mercy. But his mercy is received due to penance and perseverance in executing devotional service.
It is beyond
Imagination.
imagination. We may think, what service I have got, this is what service I am doing, blah, 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 blah. But the mercy to do that particular service that we have got is beyond our imagination. So, no service is trivial. The very fact that we are able to do some service is a mercy which is beyond imagination. Like we are all able to sit here, read Bhagavatam. The mercy is beyond imagination. There are people who are dying their whole life. They are thinking that if I get some time to sit and read Bhagavatam, they cannot. They don't have time. They are so busy. But we are sitting nicely and then we are reading. Okay, please read.
The underline?
Yes.
Okay.
The example is given of the fire in wood. The fire kindled in wood is always the same, although the wood may be of different types. Similarly, the bodies within the material creation may be specifically different according to the shape and quality, but the spirit souls within them are not different from one another.
And same way, the Supreme Soul is always present in all of them. So therefore, one who sees everything in relationship with Krishna, then that person actually, he has the right type of vision. This shloka, 32, 33, 41 and 42 are the Chatushloki for this kalpa.
Oh, that was not this kalpa.
This is a different kalpa. 32, 33, 41 and 42 are Chatushloki for this kalpa.
Could you say again, please, Prabhuji?
Huh?
32, 33 and 40.
32, 33, 41, 42.
For this kalpa.
For this particular day, this Chatushloki.
So then, is that to insinuate that there's different Chaturashlokis for different kalpas then?
Yeah.
But how do they distinguish which ones for which kalpas?
They know.
So how,
Like Maitreya speaks, so he knows.
so whoever incarnates would then state which shlokas are for the Chaturashloki Bhagavatam of the particular kalpa. That
Yeah.
Oh.
They know. So they will, because see, they are hearing from some, like now we are hearing from Prabhupada, right? Like we are reading Prabhupada's purports, we are hearing or understanding Bhagavatam from Prabhupada, right? So like that, everyone is hearing from the disciplic succession. And that disciplic succession is coming from the particular authority, okay? In case of Maitreya, he heard from which disciplic succession?
Kumar.
From the disciplic succession of Kumaras. You read that already, yeah? That Sankarshan spoke to Kumara, then Sankyayana Muni, like that, there is a whole parampara he heard, right?
Yeah.
So in that parampara they have explained that, like the Lord explained to Kumaras that this is Chatushloki for this kalpa, and then the same information has been passed. So this is how disciplic system, disciplic succession works.
So does that mean for this kalpa there's a different disciplic succession? Is that what you mean to say?
No. Bhagavatam is spoken through different disciplic successions. One of the disciplic succession is Brahma Sampradaya, which is our disciplic succession, which we saw in the beginning. That Lord spoke to Brahma, Brahma spoke to Narada spoke to Vyasa, and then it came from that. Okay, there's one succession. Now then, Maitreya's disciplic succession we saw is that Sankarsana spoke to Kumara spoke to somebody, then they spoke like that, then it's coming in Maitreya's disciplic succession. So that means in the 4 disciplic successions, there is rendition of Bhagavatam.
Right.
So each of them have their rendition of Bhagavatam
At different times.
at different times.
Okay.
Chaturashloki Bhagavatam, this one must confirm that this Parampa of Kumar are in this Kalpa as well. No?
Yeah, they are in all kalpas. They are in all kalpas. Every day of Brahma they are there.
But there is different Chaturashloki.
Yeah.
That's what you say.
Yeah.
So this Chaturashloki insinuates that this revelation of Brahma is appear in that Kalpa.
Yes.
Confirm.
The previous verse 31. This is 32.
No. This is 33.
In 31, Lord is saying that Brahma, you will see me in you and throughout the universe.
Correct, yeah.
So that means Lord is telling Brahma that Brahma Vyoma and Leela will happen.
Yes.
Before it,
Yeah.
and still Brahma got forgotten and did not.
Yeah.
And that time Brahma asked, what is this now? Like Lord explained how he will see everything inside the universe, how universe and the living entities are in me.
Everything you will be able to see. That you will see that all the cows, calves, everything has become the Lord.
Yeah.
The whole thing has become the Lord. And you will also see the Lord. All of them will become 400 form. You will see all of them.
But the universe is inside me now.
That is also you will see when he is actually showing the when he opens his mouth and shows to Yashoda.
That
will
time
be able-
Brahma is staying there and
Brahma is seeing all the pastimes, no? Brahma knows everything which is happening in.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
he knows that we are sitting and reading Bhagavatam.
Grandfather, no, everything.
Brahma is seeing all the pastimes.
Sorry, I don't want to disrupt the conversation.
Yeah.
But you can carry on if you have more to say.
No, I'm done.
Basically, I wanted to, if you could please expand on the point Brother Deepak made
What is that?
about the timing of the Chaturashloki Bhagavatam and the age.
Every day, in the beginning, he hears Chaturshloki.
Right. And that's this one or the previous?
Beginning of that particular kalpa. We are seeing a beginning of a particular kalpa,
Right.
right? So in that kalpa, Brahma got up and then he did his prayers
Right.
and then he is hearing from the Lord.
Right.
And in that process, the Lord is speaking the Chaturshloki.
But which one would the Lord, the Lord would speak the one, the Chaturashloki which is relevant for that age basically? Is that what you mean to say?
See, in all Chaturshloki, the Lord gives the same message.
How come there's different verses then? Is it the same meaning in different verses?
Yeah,
Ah.
the Lord wants to say the same thing, but he wants to say in different words. What is the problem?
Ah. No, I understand that.
There are some variations always from one day to another day. Some minor variations are there from one day to another day.
So the first set that we'd heard,
Yeah,
that was for the beginning of Brahma, right?
that was for beginning of that day of Brahma.
Right, and then this set is
Is beginning of this particular day of Brahma.
so that was from right at the beginning, whereas this is for this day.
Now I don't know whether it is right at the beginning, but that is for one day which Brahma began. Every day Brahma begins, right? It's like a new day for him. Okay? Every day Brahma forgets who he is. Every day Brahma has to go through tapasya. Every day then Brahma will see the Lord. Then Lord will speak to him. And then Brahma will start his job. This is every day. This is everyday routine for Brahma. Okay?
Oh.
So, in that day which we saw, that was Chaturshloki.
Right.
In this day, this is Chaturshloki.
But we don't know which day it was basically, we just know that they're separate days.
They are separate days.
Okay, fine.
There is some dispute about what is the day. If you go to the next unit, it will come. See, there is some Varaha Kalpa, Padma Kalpa, this kind of names are there. But within the Acharyas, there is some opinion about which is what day and things like that.